Hey everyone, welcome back to Tommy's Tiny Trailer Shop. And today we're going to show you installing one of these hose reels. Our current storage area is right here. We have our hoses coiled up in this box. And that works okay. Keeps the hoses clean and wet. But with our unit, we often use our unit as our vehicle. We don't tow a vehicle behind us. So we get to a campground, we want to go somewhere, that means we have to disconnect. While putting the hoses in there is nice, being able to just roll them up on this reel, I think will save us some time whenever we go to disconnect the water and put everything away, so we can use our vehicle to travel around and go sightseeing. So I picked up this hose reel. This is really meant for air hoses, but we're just going to use a water hose on it because we're not actually going to use this assembly to actually connect it to the plumbing. We're going to just use it to roll up the hoses. Whenever we go to use this, we'll unroll either one section or two sections of hose and then connect it to the city water. Then when we're finished, we'll just roll it back up on here. Alright, so to get our project started, we're going to locate the hose reel, and the bottom of this compartment is plastic and it has some ridges in it. Fortunately, the holes in the hose reel line up with the spacing of the ridges. However, this last ridge does not come all the way to the front. So we're just going to put some spacers underneath this side so that it sits nice and level in here. And I chose this side because this is a convenient side to run the hoses on, and then we'll keep our other things up here. It'll allow us to crank with our left hand and run the hose through a rag with our right hand so that it's clean as we roll it up on the hose reel. At least that's what we're hoping happens. Okay, so let's get started. So I have this centered about front to back here. I'm just going to use a marker, and we're going to mark the location of these holes. And I realize that there is some space behind this, but you know, if you'd mount this too far back, you would have a hard time reaching in there to actually use it and wind it up. So I didn't want to get it too far back in the compartment, but yet I didn't want it right out here at the very edge either. Alright, so I have our holes lined up, and so now we're just going to pre-drill these. Like I said, this is plastic, so it does drill pretty easily. Okay. Alright, so we have our holes drilled. Now we want to just test fit this over here. And we'll put one of the bolts down through here. Now when you drill these holes, especially since this is plastic, you really don't want to get your hole oversized. Stick one down through here. Here and over here. Well, we have to put our spacers in this one. Let's see if we can get this one lined up. Okay. Looks like we're off just a little bit on that one. Yep. We're off just a little bit, so I'm just going to have to re-drill this one here a little. Right here. There we go. Hopefully we can get it there. There we go. And now this one here requires a spacer. So what I'm using is I'm just using 4 standard washers. I'm going to put a fender washer against the bottom, and actually I might have to use 2 fender washers to get the right thickness there. And we'll line those up under there. Push this bolt down through, just like that. Then we'll be able to tighten all that up. Now on the underside, you want to be sure to use a nice big fender washer for this, because with this plastic, use a small washer or no washer at all while you're going to pull right up through it. So we're going to use these fender washers on the bottom. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to use these lock nuts with the nylon insert. That way they won't come loose. So we're going to go ahead and get those started underside here. So we have those started, and now we're going to start to tighten everything up. And we're just going to use our ratchet here. Alright, so there we go. We have it all tightened in here, and you can see our reel will reel up real nice like this. Now we're going to try and put one of our hoses on it and see what happens here. Move our light aside. Yep. Get out our hose tote. This is the portable water filter that we formerly were using. Alright, so we'll get one of these out. In fact, we're going to put the other one on first. Okay. So remember, when you do this, you want to roll the hose on backwards from what you might roll it on your hose reel for your garden, because you want the city connection to be the first thing off, and so therefore you need the other end as the first end on. Alright, normally on your garden hose reel at home it would be the opposite way. So we're going to put this in here, and it should just catch. It does. And we're just going to roll it right up. We'll see how this goes. We're going to want to uncoil this so we have it nice and straightened out. Okay. And we're just going to feed it on real nice like this. Okay, and there it is. Now we're going to do our next one. Alright. Now this, we're going to see if we can hook this together, because I use this elbow when I hook it on my city connection. We're going to see if this actually works to wind it with the elbow right in here or not. It may not work, but it might. We'll find out. Okay. I'm just going to straighten this out a little bit better. Okay. Alrighty, so here we go. And let's see if we can make this work by keeping the elbow attached. Well, I think our elbow is hitting there at the bottom a little bit. So we may not be able to do that. But it is working for right now, and there we go. So that's 50 foot of water hose, all coiled up on this nice little reel. Now when you want to use a section or two, you can just pull that right out, connect it right up to your unit, and you have water. When you go to put it away, why, you're gonna automatically just drain the water as you're rolling it up. Real nice, neat, compact, out of the way, easy to use. So here's another idea for you. If of course you have a nice storage compartment like this that you can mount this in. You can also, if you get a hose reel that is made for a water hose, where this one's made for an air hose, and you have the ability to plumb it right in, you can do that. But remember, you're going to have to have an adapter, because you're going to have to hook up the connections backwards. Because on your hose reel, it'll have the connection for the faucet, and you'll need it to be reversed so that you can hook your connection into your trailer or your RV from the hose reel, and then have this end as the end that hooks up to the faucet down in the campground. Alright, so that's it for this project. And again, I thank you for watching. This has been Tommy's Tiny Trailer House, and I want to thank my brother Matt again for doing a nice, superb job on our video, and we'll see you next time.